Hi there. In this video, I'm going to take you through some of the important features of Probench. Let me start with my demonstration. Here, as the name suggests, Probench means professional benchmarking. So what we do best is in the space of benchmarking and assessments. Uh, so uh, there, like as you see on my screen, currently, we follow like Probench supports two important processes. One is the self-assessment process, where you create your methodology and invite the companies, and then the companies themselves give themselves scores, or they select the answers or responses to the questionnaire that you have created. Uh, and the second type of process is the public assessment, where the analysts get into the system. They kind of go through the methodology. They search for the answers, or analyze the company from the publicly available data, and based on the information they get in the public, uh, uh, they basically enter the data into the system, and they score the companies. So based on the scores that they have given, they would kind of then invite the company, etc. So that those are the two main processes that the Probench follows. Now when it comes to this particular video, I would like to more focus on the public assessment side of things. So uh, so before we go ahead with the actual demonstration of the product, would like to also go through the process and what all steps that Probench follow, supports, that would help you to understand it more clearly. So as you see, there are steps mentioned here. First is like prepare methodology. So it's obviously would have prepared methodology before using the tool. So that is the methodology or questionnaire that we are talking about. You create the questionnaire inside the platform. So we have an administration screens where you can create your questionnaire based on whatever methodology that you have. Then the assessors get into the system. They analyze the companies that are participating in that assessment, or you are assessing in a way. And then based on the publicly available data, they collect the data, they put it into the system, and score them simultaneously. They would also collect evidences and all those things to support their answers or their scores that they have given to the company. Now, once this assessment has been done for a company, then they invite the company for their comments, saying like, this is what we have scored you, this is where you are currently, so please provide your feedback, etc. So it's kind of a way to start a conversation with the companies, to kind of take them to in the right path in the sustainability journey. Once the companies get into the system, they'll have to register, and if they do not want to register, we have ways where you can directly invite the companies with their username and password. So that's step 5. So once they register, their users comes into the system. They respond to the survey, they give their feedback. They are happy with the scores, not happy with the scores. If they have any supporting evidences, all those things they kind of do. They have a conversation with the assessors, and then assessors again take it over. They try to have conversation with the companies, get the information why they are not happy, etc, all those things, and then rescore the company. So the seventh step here is they reallocate the scores based on their conversation with the company. And then based on the reallocation, then a statistical analysis or benchmarking is done on the data. Okay, so averages and all those things comes into picture. So the analysis of the data takes place, and finally then a feedback report is created for the companies, like using which the companies can kind of have a like that's a visual way of for the company to kind of see where they are currently in the whole journey, and there might be recommendations, etc, or action points, etc, for the companies to kind of act on, and maybe again participate next year with a better outcome. And then these feedback reports are basically sent to the company. So all this everything is kind of automized within the Probench. So you can uh, kind of work through each and every steps from within the Probench invitation, also the emails and everything goes from it. And uh, we have mentioned this in a particular sequence, but like just to clarify, there is no particular sequence that is needed to be followed. This whole process and whatever features that we have in Probench can be aligned, or kind of the sequence is completely up to you, what sequence you would like to follow, and you can follow that sequence accordingly. So this is just to, from an understanding standpoint, we have created this steps. So just from a clarification there. So now hope you would be having a clarification on this, so or a clear idea of what Probench does and how it can help you. I would take you through the journey, or to understand how the UI of Probench looks like, and what are the other features that we have when it comes to the front end of the system. Okay, so this is the screen. This is for one of our clients, Nature Action 100. So this is the kind of sign-in screen. So here, if you see the logo and the colors and everything can be white labeled as per your requirements. Be relaxed from that particular side. So once the sign-in is done, so the when companies get into the system, they might be using the register now button, and they can register themselves and then come to the signing. So signing is a normal process, so that it is behind a security. uh, Next, once they sign in, okay, the next page is the portal page. So on the portal page, you will see the details of the benchmark, details of the assessments that you have, like when it opens, when it closes, what is the purpose of it, etc. All those information can be added here. Okay, and at the bottom there would be the list of all the assessments. Okay, so currently there is only one assessment, there might be two or three, and over the years it would be like 2023, 24, 25, etc. So all those assessments would be listed down here. Based on what they are participating, and also like if they are part of two different assessments, then those assessments would be visible to them, and they can go to any of those assessments and start responding to the survey. Now, if there are any deadlines, the deadlines would be displayed there, so that they are aware at all the times what is the deadline of that particular assessment. And then there is a scorecard. So once the scorecard, at the end of the process, once the scorecard is generated, there will be a link to the scorecard which would be displayed here. And when they click on that particular link, they will be either be able to download a PDF version of the scorecard, or if you have created a web version of it, they would be able to directly redirect it to the scorecard page, the web version of it. So this is what is the portal page all about. So all the info, so you can also do a user management, etc. So manager would be available if you are an administrator. For the companies, this is not available. So now I'll take you to the next step. So once I click on this particular assessment, it would take me to an overview page. And on this overview page, is basically, as the name suggests, the overview will give you an overview of the whole assessment and the current status of it. Okay, so when it comes to the current status, like each section or each page or each indicator might be have at a different pace, right? So based on the analyst, how they are analyzing, like where they are in their analysis steps, it would kind of, they would be able to see it here. So if you see, the main point is the status. So status is are of like they are, the completed is the status, in progress. So something is left on that page, but it is has been started, not started, so they have not at all touched that particular page. There is a flagged indicator, so if that's kind of a bookmark. So if there is any particular indicator or a question within this particular page or a section, which like probably while talking to the companies, or while uh, your internal assessment, you are not too sure of, and you are waiting for some information to come in, then you might be bookmarking that particular indicator, so that you can revisit it at a later stage, and you don't have to search for like which question you have not completed, etc. So that would help you to bookmark a particular thing, so that even reviewers can kind of use that particular feature. So that's that on the overview page. The next important feature on the overview page is the download questionnaire. So when you click, so this is basically the offline version of your assessment in a PDF or a Word format. Okay, depends on what you want. If you want both the versions, they are possible to have here. So it's kind of an offline version, as I said. So if you want to share that offline version with the companies beforehand, kind of before you start the assessment, so that company can prepare their own answers before they get into the conversation with you, this comes handy. So if it's kind of an offline version of the assessment, and also this is kind of a live document. So once you start responding to the assessments, there may be like, and then you kind of download the whatever questions you have already responded, those responses would also be available in this downloaded version, the offline version of it. So it's kind of always a live document. So if there is an approval needed or anything before the final submission, it can be used for those purposes. So that's that about that download thing. Now this download is at a survey level. Now if you want a section level download or a page level download, you can do it from here. So these icons are for those downloads. So this is what this overview page would help you to kind of get. The most important feature here on the overview page is the share a page feature. So as I mentioned, this download document is kind of an offline version of it. So similarly, this is kind of an online version, but you can kind of share that particular email with the like you can share those particular sections or pages with your maybe counterpart, or maybe company's user can send it to their colleagues to get certain information from them, but still in an online format, instead of like they filling the offline Word document and then you doing the data entry and all those things. It can be an offline version, so these users do not have to register, and they can still the parts that they are responsible for, they can only fill those parts and send it across. So how I'll show you how the this share page feature works. We also call it as collaborative collection of data, so because it's kind of a collaborative way. So you send an email address, like write an email address of your colleague, send the message whatever you are expecting in that. You have already selected these two pages for the users, and then you click on share selected pages. Okay, what it would do is, so what that share link would do is it would send this kind of an email to the users, and that email would be conducting of like whatever pages, the links to the pages that I have kind of shared with the colleague, and then it would also have a temporary username and password for that colleague. So once they kind of click on this link and sign into the page, what they'll see is they on the overview page they will only see those two pages that are shared with them. Okay, like rest of the home page and everything would remain the same, but when they get into the survey or the assessment, they would only see those two indicators, and with their particular status and everything, and then they can go inside the questionnaire and answer. So when they answer this, they would only be able to save as draft, so that they cannot finalize it, because the the super user here, or the user is responsible or owner of that particular indicator, is someone who has shared that particular link, right? So even they should be able to verify before someone finalizes those questions. So it would just be this user or temporary user would only be able to save as draft. Now when the actual user goes in, they would see the status as in progress instead of completed, and now they can again go in, verify the answers that they've given, and they can save the response. And just to be just to clarify here, like whatever answers or that we have here, okay, they are kind of in a way, like none of the answers or responses that you change or anything are kind of auto saved. Okay, so at every point in time, either you will have to click on save as draft, or in this case, as you'll have to save it. Okay, so there is no auto save functionality in Probench to make sure that there is by mistake there is no changes or anything, because each and every data is important. So we have not kept any auto save kind of a functionality. So at every point in time, whenever you change something, you'll have to click on save or save and continue, and then move forward. So hope that share a page feature is kind of clear. So it's kind of an online data collection, but from multiple users, and still you are collecting it online. So the analysts do not spend time in doing mundane data entries, rather they would spend time in analysis, which is what they are for. So that's their role, right? So that's what this share a page would help. Now moving forward, uh, like when I click on this one of the pages or indicators, okay, it would take me to the detailed page where the actual indicators are. And here you will see like each of the questions that we have, the different question types we have. I'll take you through each of them, so not worry about that. But you can create any such structure, so there is no particular limitation to what structure you can create of your assessment. This is there is no mandatory kind of a structure that you have to follow. It's completely flexible in that sense. So I'll take you through this different areas. Here on the top, you will see the name of the section page. Here you will see whatever indicators that are flagged on this particular page, because if you see on the overview, this particular page is flagged, right? So there are two flagged indicators. So it would show you like on like when I click on that particular indicator, it would take me to that particular indicator directly, so that you do not have to search for those indicators that are those are flagged as well. So that's kind of would reduce your searching things. So that's there. Then there is an indicator text, etc., all those structure whatever you want to follow. There is also a guidance note. So every page or indicator or section would have a guidance on the top. It depends if you want to kind of give some more details on how they should be filling this section, what is this section all about, all those things can be added here. Mm. Then also like at an indicator level, individual question level, you can have the assessment criteria on what basis you are assessing it, and what are the things you need to take care, or what are the things analysts need to take care while they are assessing a company, and what are your expectations when it comes to the assessment. So that is what you can mention here. So there are multiple ways in which this assessment criteria can be displayed here. This is one way of doing it. There can also be multiple icons here on this particular bar, and on click of that icon you can have individual guidance, individual assessment criteria. I'll show you as we progress. So that's what they are. And then there is this assessments, that's like in some of the cases it's 0 to 5, it's 0 to 10, whatever the scores are. So there may be multiple options here, single select, multi select, it doesn't matter. So these are for the assessments, and if you see on the right hand side, these are the scores that are assigned to that particular uh, option. Okay, so there may be 0 to 1, there may be like there's no limitation, like you can only have xyz scores, there's no limitation as such. And one more thing important is these scores are only visible to the analysts or the administrators. They would not be visible to the company users. Okay, so because obviously the companies should not know what they are scored against, or what is the score, else they will always select the highest one. So that is the important part here. So they are only visible to the analyst. Okay, so that's about the assessment. The next is the source. So this is, some of our clients also call it as evidence, because you may also select or like use this box for the evidence collection. So we call it as file library. So when I click on that attachment, what it would do is it would open a file library. Okay, so in this file library, what you basically see is there's a list of already uploaded documents on the right hand side. So you can browse and select from one of the already existing documents as a list of documents that are already attached to that particular question as an evidence. And there is a place where you can add more files. And also like in this particular area, you'll see there is an additional information. You can add more information about the file you have uploaded, like page numbers, source date, etc. But this is like completely customizable based on, so it's configurable. So whatever data you want to collect for that particular file, we can add in this particular section, and it's configurable, so there's no development needed for that particular thing. Okay, and then like when you there are two ways you can upload an evidence. Okay, one, if you already are having a file, a PDF or a Word document or any other image document, etc. So you can use a choose file, give a file name, description, page number, etc. Or you can also have a URL. So URL may be for a particular website, or maybe a URL to directly the file that is online. Okay, so whenever you, so one feature that we have is URL to PDF. So whenever you upload a web page link, okay, what Probench would do is it would take a snapshot of that particular web page that you have added as a link, and convert it into a PDF. Okay, so that is mainly needed when it comes to like whenever these evidences and all the process gets completed, is normally it takes 5 to 6 months or about a year to complete. And in the middle, if someone changes the content of their website or anything like that, then your complete evidence goes for a toss, right? So in that case, I think this URL to PDF or taking a snapshot of that particular web page helps a lot, and you can still refer to the content at that particular time. So it's all the content that you collect is basically a timestamped content. So here if you see, there is a PDF generated from URL, so it's timestamped. What URL you have used, the description, etc., all would be provided here. You can also like edit this information, clicking on edit, and it would like allow you to change whatever description, page number, etc., whatever you wanted, and it would be available for you. Okay, so this is the file library. And also like the one advantage of having this browse source or list of already evidence existing file is, like if you suppose have sustainability report, then most of your answers to the questions might be available in that sustainability report. So that doesn't mean you have to kind of upload that sustainability report again and again to each of the questions. The sustainability report is there. You just click on add to a question, and it would be added to this particular question as well. You can maybe then edit and change the page number or source or whatever it is. So do not have to upload the same document again and again. You can use the same existing document at the start. And you can also like prefer to kind of create a evidence library at the start of the assessment, so that the assessors or the analysts that we have, they would upload all the files that they might be using in that particular place, and then just go to individual questions and keep on adding those files to each of the questions wherever needed. So even that way you can be more efficient when it comes to like uploading the files. So obviously like evidence, like public assessment, it would need evidence for sure. Then you can have like other fields based on your process. Okay, so like if you have process where analysts have to give every explanation why they have given a particular score, etc., so all those things, then analyst can have their own comments for whatever different reasons. They may have their evidence, they may select whether it is strong, medium, weak, are they, how confident are they with that particular assessment, or for with their score, etc. So it's like whatever fields or question that you want to add as a part of the structure for one particular indicator, it's completely up to you, it's completely flexible. Okay, so whatever your process needs, you can create those fields accordingly. Okay, then now this is a company comments feature. So company comment, whenever it is there, it's normally the analysts and the company normally have a conversation with each other, okay, while on the tool. So it is important, so we have this conversation question type where it's kind of a chat box kind of a thing, but within the system, like within the same page and within the assessment itself. So and also like the advantage of it is recorded. So every conversation that a company's user and the analyst have between themselves can be timestamped, and also the username and everything would be possible, so that the whole trail of the conversation can be available whenever needed. Okay, so it's like very useful feature when it comes to having a good conversation with the company and helping the companies to move forward. So even companies can learn from those comments, etc. And then companies can have their own evidence. So if company is not happy with the score that the analysts have given, they can kind of add their own evidence and say, like, based on this, I'm saying that my score should be x instead of y, or y instead of z, whatever. So it's complete, and then there can be other fields as per your processes. So hope this I'm not going too fast, and you are able to understand what how flexible and what are the different things you can do from within Probench. Now I'll take your attention to a couple of things here. So this if you see this particular area of this particular three questions, okay, it is in gray background, okay, or a light blue background. Okay, so this is basically for the read only cases. Okay, so obviously because the analysts are assessing the company based on the publicly available information, or maybe having an interview or something, but this is the area where you want only analysts to kind of change the scores, etc., and companies should not go and touch the scores. So in those cases, this is a read only area, so where the analyst would be able to kind of change or uh, uh, respond to those questions, but for the companies it would be something like this. So if you see here, this is a read only area. So for the companies it is like completely read only, right? So it's just an image, and they would also not be able to add any source or anything. They can view it, but they would not be able to add anything. So that's how, so it's giving an error. So that's how it normally works. So it does not kind of allow the companies to make any changes. So that's an important feature from that standpoint. So it's a read only thing, and the things that you are seeing in the red background, they are the admin only area. So only analysts or the administrators would be able to see that those questions, or that part of the questions. Okay, the companies won't be able to see it. So this is mainly for the reviewers or for internal conversation that you might be having within your team, or you might be having with your own other consultants or partners, so it's kind of an internal conversation. Those are the things that the company should not see, and that is what we call it as an admin only question. So each questions can be marked as admin only, read only, based on your process. So I just wanted to highlight that particular part. Now one more thing on this particular page that is very important is the history icon. Okay, so so here this is a history icon, and it basically shows all the responses or all the changes that are made to that particular indicator or that particular question with a timestamp, and it also shows which user made which what change at what particular point in time. Okay, so this is the very important, so to have a log. So if at all you want companies to also change that particular area, then you would know that what the analyst have had given, what the companies have changed to. So that there it helps with the evidence and the conversation, so the complete log of the responses are maintained here. Okay, another important feature here is the all companies responses. So in this all company responses, you will also be able to see uh, what other companies have answered for that or what other companies have, what score that the other companies have got for that particular indicator. Okay, so I'll just quickly go through it. So it's like uh, most of the times the analyst when they analyze, okay, they have certain companies as benchmark. So based on those benchmarks or anything like that, like if there is Adidas and Nike, they both are in the same sector, so they know, like if Adidas has done something, then Nike might have done XYZ. So they might be able to go and see what Adidas has got for that particular question, and based on that they can kind of decide on what score they should be giving to Nike, or some useful information out of it. So that's where it helps in the analysis. to see the other company's response, and this particular tab is only visible to the analysts or the administrators. It is not visible to the companies, so companies cannot see other companies data from a data security and confidentiality standpoint. Okay, and then the third tab is the last year's response. So if there are year on year survey that is going on, this last year's response would help them to know like what was the score last year, and what are they getting this year, so that comparison can be done. Okay, so that is about this particular page. I think I have covered most of the functionalities that we have on the indicator page or here when it comes to public assessment. One more thing that we have, I have not yet demonstrated here, but is like if there is a year on year assessment, okay, it's by default. Okay, so if someone has participated or company has been assessed for say 2023, then when you come in the same survey for 2024, okay, what you would see is the responses from 2023 would be pre-populated in their 2024 assessment, so that analysts don't have to go to their 2023 assessment to know what they have answered. So it's already pre-populated, and there would be a kind of an orange border around it to indicate that it is a pre-populated indicator. So most of the times it happens that like out of 100% only 20% of the response changes, rest 80% remains the same. So in those cases the analyst can just review those responses and then click on save, so that those responses that were carried forward from the last year would be saved. So that way it kind of helps the analyst to save time over the years instead of spending equal amount of time every year. So hope that also helps here. uh, the next I'm like this is the page that I'm just showing you, like the way we can structure the indicators as well. So here there is indicator text, and then you are kind of selecting strong agree, like whatever options that we have. So even the questions can be structured in a tabular manner, and they can be scored as well. So here the score is from 1 to 7. So that scoring and everything is possible here as well. So just to demonstrate that. Uh, Next is this is the textile exchange. So here also, like if you see, there's a long survey. It's a very big survey, about 16 17 categories that we have here, and each category have 4 different pages, so there can be this multi-level kind of a thing. And if you see the UI as well, just to kind of demonstrate the white labeling, the kind of white labeling that we can do. So even this is the same code base and same Probench, but it's completely different white label. So here we have PDF and Word, both of them. So even this structure is possible, and big ones are possible. Now, next, coming to this very important topic here, when it comes to the calculators, okay, or custom validators, etc. Okay, so here if you see, like as like just to explain you, any type of calculators or calculations that you might want to do from within the Probench are possible, provided they are mathematical calculations and there is a standard formula that you follow for each of those calculations, right? So all types of calculations we can kind of create within the Probench. So those calculations are possible. And just for example, like here, if you see this auto, so I'll just change this volume, okay, and the uptake empty here would change itself. Okay, so and other calculations here would also have changed. So if you see the bottom side, if I remove say one, you see that the changes that are happening live. So all these calculations are kind of like happening live. And also you can set, like if you have selected home textile, the conversion rate would be something else. If you select a mixed uptake calculator, the conversion rate could be same. So this kind of pre-set up based on the drop down pre-set up rates or something, you can definitely have in your system. So any type of calculations, as I said, a mathematical calculation is possible through Probench. So that's what I just wanted to demonstrate here. And these are like all the pop-up questions. So you can have a tabular structure with multiple questions within it. It can be opened in a pop-up, but displayed in a concise manner. So each of this pop-up has multiple fields within it. So just this, if you see this table itself, it would have at least 200, 300 data points in it, to very minimum. Okay, so that's what this like the calculators are. Similarly, as I said, it's a custom calculator, so similar we can have also custom rules. Okay, so rules are can be used for validations. So here you can see one of the rules that is kind of displayed. So here the rule is it cannot be incalculable. So the problem here is, like, if you see is this cannot be kept as incalculable, so there is something wrong in the data here. Okay, due to which this is shown as incalculable, and incalculable data, it would show it as an error. Okay, so this kind of validation rules as well you can create within the Probench. So again, there is no limitation to that. Any logical thing that you would like to do based on a particular response, you can do it from here. You can compare dates if their dates are out of range. All those comparisons can be done in the tool. All those rules can be created, and whenever those rules are broke, in the overview page you will see that there is an invalid answer. So unless the users solve this invalid answer, or solve this particular error or validation error, they won't be able to submit that particular survey as a whole. So to submit an assessment or to finalize an assessment, they have to clear all the errors that are there on the system. Okay, or all the validations that are not correct, or the fields or values that are not correct are kind of uh, they will have to fix it before they finally submit it. So all those checks and balances are already there in the system. Here there are also two more things that you would be able to see here on this particular page. Is like the indicators can be tagged like this. Like this is a TFP indicator and a scored indicator. There can be other types of indicator. So maybe a climate change indicator or something related. So you can tag each of those indicators, the users have a proper idea like what is this indicator about and all those things. So you can also tag these indicators in this particular manner. Okay, you can also have definitions like this. So what does raw material processing include, what does that mean? Okay, so it would kind of, when you hover over it, if you see there is an underline, and if you hover, you will see the definition. What does that particular word or phrase mean? So this definitions and everything can be like, you can create a list in an Excel sheet, and it can be uploaded into the system. So wherever the system will find that particular word or phrase in the survey, that particular definition or that particular word would be kind of highlighted, and a definition would be visible whenever someone hovers over it. So it's kind of you can bulk upload those definitions for the help of the users. Okay, so that's an important functionality. I'll move forward. I think I've covered everything here. So this is again just to show you what are the different types of questions that we can have. And here if you see, there's a guidance notes here. So one type of guidance I initially showed you, that was like in the nature action, there is like this kind of assessment criteria. So here when you see, this is a pop-up type of guidance. So similarly, you can have one more or two more icons here to kind of show different things: assessment criteria, guidance, etc. So just different ways of showing things in the system. So yeah, all of this is kind of editable. Okay, and whenever you create the survey, it's absolutely available for you to kind of change, and it's completely in your hand when and where to change. Okay. Yeah, moving forward, this is like again just to show you how different we can change the white labeling side of it. So here the fonts and the complete look of things are different here. And here, see, if you see this indicator, it's more cleaner, more open kind of a UI. So here in this particular case, client had a UI team, and they kind of worked with us. They followed the same structure of our questionnaire, the Probench in the background, but they changed the CSS so that uh, the structure remains the same, the functionality is not affected or impacted, and you get a new UI. Okay, so the center particular structure can be changed in whatever manner you want. We would like to avoid the left hand side of it. It can remain the same. Obviously you can color the you can change the colors, and you can change the icons and all those things, but otherwise that particular structure we would not like to touch, because there are other things involved, so it might uh, add to the complexity. So just to demonstrate the white labeling of things, I'm kind of just showing you this particular questionnaire here. Okay. Now moving forward to now the administrator side of it. So we have completed all the front end side of things. Okay, I've kind of showed you quite a lot of features. Yeah, I like, I'm sorry, I forgot one more feature here. Okay, we spoke about conversation question type, right? In this conversation question type, there is also like one very important feature that we have that would definitely reduce the frustration that the analyst might be having. So whenever there is a conversation happening with the company, okay, what we can do when it comes to Probench is whenever companies provide their responses or feedback on a conversation question type, uh, 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 they the analyst would be notified. Okay, and notified in a way like they at the end of the day, like all the responses that the companies have given, okay, would be consolidated. Okay, and a job that runs in the background, and a consolidated Excel sheet would be shared with the analyst, saying like this company has answered on this particular question with this particular comment. Okay, so that they know like which questions to visit, which companies have provided feedback after their feedback to them. They do not have to keep on searching for like which company has answered, which company has answered today, which company has not answered today, all those things. You will kind of get that particular notification in your mailbox at the end of the day. So every day there are jobs runs, and a consolidation is done, and a notification is sent. So that kind of a notification feature, I'm sure it would reduce a lot of frustration for the analyst to keep on going through their email, like multiple emails and all those things. Here everything would be consolidated, and it would help them save a lot of time as well in this one. So yeah, this is what the most of the front end features that we have in place. So now moving to the back end of it. So from the backend side, this is the screen where you create the questionnaire. Okay, so it's kind of a tree like structure. So a question has another question under it, like section. So there is a type of question. So page is the page, and then page under there would be a group under it, or maybe directly a radio question. Radio is a single select question, etc. And like under it you can have multiple options, so it's kind of a tree type of a structure. So parent, child, 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 so that's how it normally works. So everything is editable, like the pop-ups or guidance notes that I was showing you, even that is editable here. So this is the guidance notes that's come up. We call it as pop-up here. So there are multiple you can also add conditions and everything from here. So obviously build condition and everything would help you to kind of build this condition and put it in the survey. So it's kind of a branching logic, etc. So even there are multiple types in which the branching logic and everything works. Yeah, now if you see the logic as well, there is a choose, there is a pre-select, etc. So what the choose and pre-select does is, like if you have one question selected, so based on that question, if they have selected yes in question one, you want to select no in question two because they have selected yes in question one. So you can kind of pre-select, create a condition accordingly on that particular question two, and it would kind of pre-select no okay, and make it as a read only thing so that no one can change. So that is kind of an indirect validation that you are doing, or like making sure that the correct data is being collected and there are no manual errors that are happening, right? So that kind of a pre-population and everything, or pre-selection of things based on some other question or response to some other question, can be done using this. You can also have visible condition. You can show some questions, hide certain questions based on the responses of some other questions. So all those is possible here. You can also make a particular question mandatory or voluntary based on the responses to some other questions. So there are lots of things that you can do here. Now, very important thing that I wanted to show you here is the scoring methodology. So here, like if you see, there are three options to this radio button, and we have this 10 to 0 score. Okay, so this is the regular Probench way of automated scoring, where we kind of do a roll up kind of a scoring. So the score of the child would impact its parent, and the score of the parent impacts its grandparent. So it kind of goes from bottom to top. So if for this particular choice they have selected 10, so they would get an 100% score for this indicator 1. Okay, and then if there is only one indicator under this particular section, then even your workforce would get an 100% score. So similarly, if there are two questions and both are getting 100, then the top would be getting 100. Two questions, if one is getting 100, another is getting 50, then accordingly the average is taken and given to the parent. So that's how the whole thing works. Okay, so it's kind of child to parent and parent to its own parent. So that's how the score works, and that's the default way of scoring. Okay, we also have a custom way of scoring. I'll come to that particular part. But when it comes to default way of scoring, there is also a possibility to give weights to these individual indicators, right? So if a page has say 10 questions, out of those 10 questions, two are very important and another eight are not so, like less important, then you can have more weightage to those two questions, like it's given here, and then based on that the calculations of that particular page would be done. So that kind of weightage, even like at a page level, you can have weightage. Maybe if you are doing an ESG, then environment, governance, and social environment, social, and governance. If you want a governance to have higher weightage based on whatever assessment you are doing, then you can give 60% to governance and rest for 20% to social and environment. So that way you can maybe give the weights as well, and based on that the score would be final score would be calculated. So that is the default way of Probench scoring things. Okay, so that's it is. Next is the custom way of scoring. So custom way of scoring is like you might have so like this is the data set functionality that we have. So in this data set functionality, we can create any such data sets, and all these data sets would get the data from whatever is collected in Probench. So you like do not get afraid of the formulas that you are seeing. Everything can be kind of generated, so do not worry about that. But then when it comes to the automated scoring, okay, so I'll just show you, like, yeah, so this is the kind of calculations can be done. So this is the custom scoring that we are talking about. So you can have such custom scoring, multiplication, addition, whatever formula that you want to add to your custom scoring methodology can be added from here. So if you might have observed, most of these are kind of functions. The score is a function, round is a function, and they kind of, you would be able to relate it to the function that you might be creating in the Excel sheet. Okay, so it's very much similar to that. So that kind of functions are there, and also there can be custom functions created out of whatever common formula that you might be having. So this is the way we can also like customize the scoring methodology that we have. Okay, you would also be able to see some uh, if conditions here. So based on, like, if the score is less than 20, then you are at this particular stage. If the score is less than 40, then you are at this stage. So all those things can be kind of formulated here. also like based on so here if you see these are actions, right? So these actions are basically if they are getting 20% score, then what the action steps they should be taking, okay, is basically mentioned here. Okay, similarly you can also give recommendations based on the score that they have achieved, so it can be completely customized. So this is mostly for their scorecards, right? The final scorecards or reports that they get, you might be able to customize like based on what band they are in, and what recommendation and actions that you want to kind of show them, or mention in their scorecard. So no, so the whole manual work can be automized here in a way. So this is also where the data sets come into place. Now, as I said earlier, data sets can be any number of data sets that you can create. So similarly, if you want scoring, this is the data set. If you want other responses, if you want other set of data for your another analysis and all those things, you can create other data sets. Okay, now these data sets that we have created can be downloaded in this all these formats. Okay, there is a Power BI format where the CSV, there is a link created and it can be given to Power BI for the import, and it would be imported. Now, there sometimes clients asks us uh, do they always have to generate the data set manually and then download the CSV and give it to the third party in case they are kind of analyzing it in a different tool? Okay, so or kind of displaying the scorecard in a different tool. So our answer to that is a kind of no. We have this third party access. So what we can do is you can generate this reference and secret key, etc. So and some code that can be written at your end, okay, which would kind of pull the data using the link that is kind of created here. Okay, and that link can be used to download the CSV whenever it's needed. Okay, so uh, that is something that can be done through this third party access, and you will not have to every time manually come here, download the CSV, upload it at some other place. There can be also we can also set this particular data set to kind of uh, uh, in a job kind of whenever you generate a new data is available in this data set. Okay, so this generation can also be kind of scheduled. So if you want this data sets to be generated every day, say at the night 12 a.m., then it would be generated every day, and then maybe the same thing can be done at your end where you whenever you are pulling the CSV, you make sure that you pull the CSV at 1 a.m. at your end and you'll get the latest data. So this also can be automized and it can be scheduled accordingly. Okay, so hopefully this clears out some idea on how you can kind of analyze the data, maybe like advanced analysis out of the system, and still collect the data from within Probench. So hope this was helpful as well. Now going to the sorry, yeah, I just forget. When it comes to benchmarking, we need averages, uh, ranking and all those things. So we have about 50 plus functions for uh, that you can use. So as I said, there are these functions which are related to like very similar to Excel functions. So we have these 50 plus functions that we the collection that we have, and all of these functions somehow or the other would be used for your benchmarking and assessing the companies, etc. So like average, quartile, quintile, ranking, counts, divide, all those things can be kind of used here. So hope all these functions would be able to help you with the benchmarking and all those things as well. So obviously there would be a bit of learning curve or like what function to use where, but it's not that difficult to use in a way. Now, like we have covered two steps. One is the data collection part of it. The second is the data analysis side of it. Now, once the data is analyzed or the formulation has been done, you have done the scoring methodology, everything of that sort. Now you want to give the reports to each and every company that you have created, right? That's the steps that we are kind of showing. So we have completed step 8, like statistical analysis of the data. Now you want to prepare the feedback report and send it across to the companies. Now what are the different types of feedback reports that we can create, right? So feedback reports can be of two types. Okay, one is you can have a Word and a PDF document as your reports, or you can have the web version of the report where you have a URL and it's a web based report. Okay, so there are two types. So I'll quickly go through some of the reports, the PDF reports. So if you see, like each of these PDF reports would be completely customizable. So from our standpoint, it is like whatever Word document or whatever you design you can create in a Word, okay, can be create or can be converted into your PDF report. Okay, so it's kind of a mail merge functionality. So you give us the design and all the static data and everything in a particular Word format. We kind of put the placeholders for all the dynamic data or charts or anything that you want, and that's how it happens. So it's like any Word document can be converted into a template in a way, the report template. So that's how we kind of normally do. So this is one of the reports. Okay, so here this is an image, this particular area, whatever your score is, etc. And this particular image, this is not an image, it's a completely customized thing based on the scores that the users have achieved. It like what level they are, it would be colored, and the action items or action points would, as I just showed you in the data set, all those action points are being displayed here. So it's a completely customized image, or what I say, a chart that you are able, or infographic you are able to see here. So it's not static, it's completely dynamic. So similarly, even here we can have such kind of an infographic where based on what score that you have achieved for that particular section, you would be able to see the colors on those sections, and others are kind of grayed out. So similarly, we can have such reports, different types of reports. I'll show you few more. You have this GCF report. So this is also from Probench, complete report, and all the data and charts are created from within Probench. Okay, I'll show you some other chart. So even see here, you can have these charts. So see, formatting and everything are completely different in all these reports. And here they have kind of shown areas for further improvement, areas that are covered by the company's disclosure. And then there is a final thing as well. And then there is like another report that I'm showing you. So this is a textile exchange report. So even this is like they provided us with a Word document, and then we kind of converted into uh, a stack chart, etc. So yeah, so this is how a PDF report can be. So it's like, as I said, it's completely customizable. Whatever template that you have in a Word can be converted into these reports. Okay, it is as simple as that. Moving to the web-based report, it's already 1 hour past here. So moving to the web-based report, uh, yeah. So this is our different web-based report. The even here the design can be provided by you, and we can kind of see here the different charts. These are all interactive charts here. Okay, so it's all interactive. uh, See, this is a completely different design. So in this case particular for textile exchange, it's kind of a uh, microsite in a way, because they have multiple sections and things. So like each section would have a different page allocated to it, and a respective data would be available. So this kind of reports can be generated as well. So this is a one pager report. So what I showed you before, This is a final report at the very end of the cycle when the complete benchmarking is done. So that's the reason there is a subsector average, sector average, etc. But here this is an indicative scorecard. So this is the first scorecard that the companies would get to know what are their scores in individual sections, etc. And there is no comparison with any other sector or any other company or anything like that. So this is a preliminary report, and the other one that I showed was a final benchmarking report that they had created. So you can also create reports like this. You can have such filters here. Okay, filter by section. You can have advanced filters by region, etc. And the list of the companies would change based on whatever selections that you have done. And when I click on one of this particular company, it would take me to this particular page, which has the details of the or the score, or what is the rank of that company in the whole benchmark, and then what sections or what scores that they have achieved for each of the sections, etc. And then there is also this comparative chart where you the investors can compare between three companies, like how they are faring for each of these pillars that they have. So this kind of like this, as you saw, reports are kind of an investor friendly report where investors can use such kind of dashboards, interactive dashboards, to kind of do their assessments and kind of decide on where to invest, what to invest, etc. Okay, so this is what is kind of an helpful thing here. So yeah, this is how we can compare as well. So yeah, the spider charts, you can also like uh, close one of them, etc. So all this play around can be done in each of the charts. Another thing here is like this is another GCF report. So now they have added this score, previous year score, then the averages, regional averages, etc. So this is a bit of a different look depending on what the clients wanted. So even this kind of setup. So anything that you in both Word and PDF, whatever you provide us, whatever designs you provide us, we can convert that into a scorecard. Okay. So that is what is the basic. So hopefully I have covered everything, and it was helpful, and it helps you to understand Probench in deep. Any questions or anything like that, please contact us at hello@73bit.com or support at 73bit.com, and definitely one of us will get back to you with our answers to that. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.